Some technical difficulties, yeah. But obviously we're in Corona times. I got told that Harris has like a high possibility of Corona in it, so had to come prepared. Easy, easy, man. Like Smiler, jeez. Yeah, mad technical difficulties, mad technical difficulties. But I'm prepared. You get me? Corona prepared. They can't catch me. Man like Shy Keegan, easy. Mad thing. Yeah, so we're gonna what we're doing now, yeah. It might have been have I left yard? Fam, I've probably left yard like what? Maybe 3 times. It's some madness, fam. I'm not on it. I'm not on it. Even if it is a conspiracy, yeah, I'm still not on it. I'm not risking it. I'm not on it. Oh, wait a minute. Harris has just requested, so let me see. Let me see. Yeah, true, fam. I'm not playing with you.
Yes, my brother. Fam, we've had so many technical difficulties, man.
It's all
Yo,
good, fam. It's
big
all
up
good
to
with you.
everyone locked in. Yo, D, do one favor for me. Just save this video after the live, just so I can post it for the episode.
All right,
Um,
I've never done a live before, you know.
yeah,
So
yeah, that's fine. So we can go live for an hour.
hmm,
Basically, you can save it straight after. So
okay.
yeah, literally just save it and send me it, and then literally I can upload it. But yo, bruv, amazing to finally get you here, man. And I just wanted to say a shout out to everyone that's joining, shout out to everyone that's locking in. This is the third episode of Empire Nation Presents the Finest in the North. And you, my friend, bro, you are Northern royalty. You are
Okay,
literally one
respect,
of my
respect, respect,
favorite
respect,
artists from the
respect.
city. No cap, seriously, I mean,
Yeah,
lyrically, production, visually, bro, you've been on this for a long time, so it's only right we get you on this platform and
no, fam.
chat to you. But yeah, how are you doing? How's lockdown treating you?
But I'm all
How's
right.
life?
Like I've said, I'm friggin' I haven't been no matter if it's a conspiracy or not. Yeah, I'm not risking nothing. So I started the live with this on, yeah, just in case you had corona.
Yeah,
I'm not
nah,
risking,
bro, man's
I'm not
corona
risking
free.
nothing.
Nah, I love that, bro. I love that. You know how it is, you know how it is. But nah, bruv, you know what, like, as you know, like we started this series to kind of basically just chat to the veterans of the city, man, and talk to pioneers in the music scene. And I started this series as part of my university, so as my dissertation project. I wanted to really look into the city.
Is it part of
And
that magazine project that you did as well? Is that the same
yeah,
thing?
man. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
basically like a Brown Excellence campaign, but specifically based in the North. So everybody I used in that magazine was also Northern, um,
yeah.
which is the highlight of the campaign because we're such a large community and network of Northern artists, and I want to get to the bottom of why we're not on top of the world right now where we should be. And I want to be having these live conversations, these debates, chatting to pioneers like yourself about how we can get there and what we can do to highlight those issues. um but for anybody that's locked in and doesn't know who you are, just let everybody know who you are, give a little bit of a background, and tell us a little bit about yourself, bro.
Yeah, yo, I'm the wackest at doing these things, yeah. But basically, I'm Denmarc Creary, a musician, originally a yard man from Jamaica.
Yo, yo.
Moved to Leeds when I was like, what, 6 or 7, something like that. And fell in love with music. I'd say probably in high school. With I think I just seen it. Yeah, Wonky Logic. He goes by Wonky Logic now. Dwayne,
Yo, yo.
my boy from high school was the one that got me into music. So I started
Love
producing
that.
first.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think it was college times I started experimenting with like jumping on a couple rhythms and all that kind of stuff. And then yeah, ever since I've just been making music in it.
Love that, love that. Well, again, like that leads me into my next point. Like, for anybody that doesn't or hasn't heard your music, a lot of the music that you make, you produce also. And I think that is a foundation of an artist. I think that's it's an amazing thing because you're coming in on such a versatile angle, and you really craft your art, like you're really out there building it. Whereas a lot of musicians just kind of spit over music. Whereas like, what was that like? And coming up as a rapper, like, how do you feel like, you know, learning how to produce influences you? Like, what are the stages like through those processes?
You know what? Yeah, like to be fair, recently I haven't been making like any beats. I haven't made a beat in I don't know how long, like a good few months now. Yeah, and I'm liking
Yeah.
top lining at the moment because
Okay.
I got heavily into songwriting for a hot sec. You just bare top lining in it, so you just literally getting a beat,
Okay.
sitting with a producer, and then crafting something. You get me? And I like that.
Yeah.
I developed that love for that process. You get me? But yeah,
100.
obviously starting off as a producer, I think definitely helped me like musically, just generally as well, because you have a bit understanding of everything. You get me? And I think that when it comes to music, having a basic understanding of like how stuff works and the timings and stuff, and what a 16-bar loop is, and all that geeky stuff. Yeah. I think
100%. Well, that's the you know, that's the bread and butter of the craft, really, isn't it? Like, you have to understand the foundations of it, and that's admirable because, you know, it makes you such an independent workforce. Like, you don't have to rely on other vessels or other people. Like, you're very self-sufficient, and
And
one of the
you know
main
what? It came from necessity, from literally. I couldn't find. That's how even I started friggin' rapping and singing and all that kind of stuff. Couldn't really find what people that I thought gelled with my beats at the time. And then I was working with 90s heavy.
Shout out 90s.
Yeah, shout out 90s.
Trust me.
I was working with him heavy at the time, but I couldn't really find people locally that like could fit the production I was making at the time in it. So I just started experimenting, and that's how all that stuff, all recording process, all that kind of stuff, it just came from like friggin' couldn't find nobody to do it, so I had to just try and figure it out. You get me?
Well, that's it. Like, that breeds the hunger for success. Like, you have no other alternative, no other option but to do it. You know what I'm saying? And again, that leads me on to my next question. So, like, you've spoken about your writing, your production, and your rapping. As an artist and a creative, what would you say is what do you enjoy the most? Writing, rapping, or producing?
You know
what is your favorite? You know what I'm saying?
My favorite moment of making music, is the actual making of the music. So like, going from whatever the beat is, whatever vibes it gives me, to laying down the idea, to finalizing it. You get me? That's the shit that I like.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
The feeling I get from that form is different. Different.
I can imagine. See, I think that's what a lot of people do not understand, is the reward that creatives get when they create art. And nothing can compare to that. Really and truly, like, you can't express that feeling. It's just how, like, when an Olympic athlete is sprinting, like, the thrill they get from that, you cannot comprehend if you don't do it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's insane. Well, Denmarc, let's get into a record. We've had a few technical difficulties, but is there any music that you'd like to preview, or is there anything you're working on that you'd like to show people?
To be fair, all right, yeah. What kind of vibe you feeling? What kind of vibe?
You see me, bro. I've got a different mood for Denmarc Creary for a different day of the week, bro. I'm telling you, I got a different mood for a different genre. No matter what day it is, we got a different Denmarc Creary.
For real,
you see me, like, I'll be walking around the ends, plotting to build an empire, listening to Denmarc Creary. Let me tell you, bro. Like, I got a different mood. Then I'll be getting on a vibe. I'll be listening to Denmarc Creary. We got genres, but you see me, I like hard lyrical Denmarc Creary, to be honest. Storytelling Denmarc Creary. Like, you see that Blue Room there, the way that gets me hyped. Like,
yeah, you know what, as well, there's a part, I think you've seen me perform, there's like a part 2 to that, that I did at the which show? I think it was Graph's EP launch.
Yeah.
Phew, that gets me so gassed.
Guys, for those of you that do not know, I am a massive fan of Denmarc, and I have been for many years. And obviously, like, we're both musicians, we're both from the city, and only really like through me studying journalism have I really wanted to have a chat with Denmarc, and you know, speak to him about all these important things, because you know the city is thriving and Denmarc's been flying the flag from way back. To, you know, 1 extra days, like, and just touching on that, Denmarc, before you get into a record, I wanted to ask you on some of your favorite achievements, and what would you say is a major highlight in you for your career?
You know what? It friggin' changes from day to day. You know, it changes from day to day. But
so many.
Obviously, that first 1 extra experience, yeah. I can never explain that. I can never even think how to explain that, fam. It was like, it was a madness. It was a madness. Like, it was like like 10,000 people like screaming, like, fam, different type of vibes, man. So I'd say that's definitely a friggin' highlight, man. That's definitely like a major highlight. A major highlight, man.
Man, I was there. I witnessed it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was there in the audience. I had the opportunity to watch that and be a part of that. And I think that was a very iconic moment.
Big up Jamsey as well. Jamsey was a part of that process too, man.
Yeah, big up Jamsey inside. Yeah, man. Big up to everyone that's locked inside. I really appreciate it. We got episode 3.
I see you,
Eid Mubarak to all my brothers out there as well.
Eid Mubarak,
trust me, man. But yeah, that was an iconic moment. But yeah, let's get into a record, man.
All right, let's get into some Gus.
Ready.
Can you hear that, yeah?
Yeah, man, loud and clear.
Man, I just school and I had to school niggas. If she is bad, if she looking at pictures, I'll take her for 2 dinners. See, sent me a new rhythm. So that's a new killing.
Okay.
Now got bodies on bodies, don't know what to do with them. Made me a chain that shines so bright that you need a new vision. Already laying on silk, might get me some new dinner. Some of them cool, different. Some of them true sinners. You better talk to him nice and pray he don't have the tool with him. Some of the half established, some of the been in the game. So many options for flows out killing them different ways. Obsessive when it comes to my praying on some night in too many days. When you're an artist and you're a barbarist, know that you can't be tamed. Can name a lot of niggas I'm sick of that. Killing like they should have killed him a man. Way too selfish to give a damn. Can't do just their bars like sitting man. Gym floor's too big for these little man. Fun of me, guaranteed I'm a bigger fan. Take shots from the need of another plan. Or one won't work. Grind. Manager school and
Gus.
Get me, you take Gus. Oh my God.
Gus.
Oh my gosh, fam.
Get me,
I wasn't ready, fam. I was not ready, fam. Woo! It got hot in here real quick. Jesus Christ. Woo. My gosh, fam. Levels, absolute levels, my brother. Wow. Fire. Bro, talk to me about the process behind that record, fam, because you're wilding out. Wilding out.
You know what, bro?
Trust me.
I can't lie, yeah. What it is nowadays, yeah, like the passion and love that I had, like in the beginning, for some reason, has come back. Ever since I stopped being like, if you don't know, I've been ghosting in it. Everybody's like been sending me messages and all that kind of stuff. Fam, I've just got I've got.
To be honest, bro, I was quite apprehensive because I was like, you know what, I've not seen you active on the socials. I was like, you know, I didn't know if you was gonna be down, and then I thought, nah, bro, like man's always. But I've seen you been hibernating, and bro, like every time I've always said it, like the bag is secure, like fam, that record is cold, man. Like,
big respect.
Trust me,
yeah,
me.
just
Like,
that's literally just one of the. That's just one of the so I've probably been making like at least a song a day kind of thing, 2, 3 sometimes. That's just one of them, fam. It's just like it's a vibe in it. It's just every so often you catch them vibes.
It's special, man. It's special, bro. You know, you said like it's so amazing because I was having a conversation with Jamsey literally a few days ago, and he was saying to me, he was like, you know, a lot of musicians, like they're going about, you know, having content and how do they keep consistent and all of this, and bro, like just seeing your energy and seeing you in your workspace, it's like you really have a passion for the music, and like being able to keep creating, and every day, like it's so beautiful because you're never gonna get bored of that process of that creation. Like you're in love with that process.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was saying earlier, I'm obviously discovering what my favorite part of music is just going from having a beat that gives me vibes and laying something down. I know that's what I enjoy doing. Why not do that as much as I can? You get me? And that's just my 100%. Mind frame. Just do it as much as I freaking can. And it's just, I'm not even concerned about releasing. Obviously, people want to hear new music and all that kind of stuff. I'm not concerned about releasing or anything like that at the moment. I'm just friggin' making music from and loving it. You get me? It's a madness right now.
Bro, 100%, 100%. So, right, I've got a few questions for you that I've lined up. We've got a few questions that people have asked as well. Is there a bit of a delay in this?
I don't think so.
No?
Is there?
We're good to go? Yeah?
I think so, yeah.
So basically, just a few general questions so people can get to know you, just like nothing special really, just some background. What's your favourite food?
My favourite food?
You
know, controversial answer because it's not the best thing, but more time I feel for a little veg pizza, you get me?
Well, pizza. Yeah, mate, I mean, can't complain. Pizza's pizza. You see, I see a lot of people hating on broccoli on pizza, but I think it looks nice.
You're touching my soul right now. No, but to be fair, the food that I probably eat the most though is cereal. I'm a cereal head.
Yeah. Yo, what type of cereal are you talking now?
I'm a cereal connoisseur. You need to be on levels. I'm a cereal connoisseur.
Quality. Reload. Okay. All right. Okay. Next question. What are your top 5 cereals?
Top 5.
Your top 5. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll keep it UK cereals. All right. Bum.
Okay.
Crunchy Nut has to be. I think that might be top. Crunchy Nut. Golden Bowl.
Says.
Pause.
Okay.
You know what I like as well, yeah? Shreddies, but I've realized
the honey
Shreddies when they have to kind of be a bit like soggy. You get me? A little bit soggy.
Yeah.
With honey on top. Them ones there, you get me?
Yeah, man.
2 more UK cereal.
2 more
Lion.
UK cereal.
Lion Bar has
I've never actually tried Lion, I can't lie. But I like
hard.
Lion Bar.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
Okay. Okay. Ooh, someone in the comments said Crave. Yeah. Crave bang. I'll be licking off boxes of Crave. Yo, it's lit.
Man.
Yo, that's so jokes. Okay, all right. Next question is, what is your personal favorite song of yours that you've got? Like, what's your personal favorite record? Like, this is my song. My favorite record, I've got 2. Late Night and Snakes. They're my 2 favorite records, period. Like, on spin, on repeat. Them 2 records, fam. Melodies, everything on point.
Respect. You know, I find that question so freaking hard, fam. that's like the hardest question to answer that anybody could ask me.
Okay, what's your favorite one to perform live then?
Oh, okay, yeah, all right. I like that question. I think that's a bit easier. I think there's two, Dido and Rolling.
Oh, big record. Yes, fam.
Dido and Rolling, yeah. When it comes to live, whew, whew.
Yeah, the energies, it's insane. It's insane. You see a lot of people that don't know, bruv, like when you perform, like it's electrifying. Like it's one of those things like you genuinely experience that, like you connect. And I think a lot of that as well is like your production and your sound engineering, because a lot of it's like your lyrics fit hand in hand with your delivery and your production, and it just fits so perfectly together.
Wait, my mom commented, you don't know me. So she
which is a bagger.
Ah, mom, you're funny. You are funny.
Big up to Denmarc's mum inside. But yeah, bruv, leading into my next question, obviously a lot of people don't know, and it was quite news to me, well, when I found out, is that you create a lot of your own content, and a lot of your social media content, a lot of the things that you post, and you're a visionary, you're a content creator, and you've been doing that for many years. One thing I wanted to ask you is, how has that process been? Because obviously, being a creative, a lot of people have to pay out to, you know, other people to create their content. How's that process been for you? And how do you find balancing those passions between music and multimedia? Like, how do you find balancing that?
So all the graphic design stuff and all that kind of stuff came from like as a job in it. That's what I used to do as a actual job. It just fed into just like a natural. Obviously, I had the ability, so I might as well use it. But all it again stems from what we were talking about before. Like it all comes from a necessity. You get me? So it's the necessity of frigging wanting cover art. Don't know who to contact. Probably haven't got people to pay them to do it. Have to figure out. You get me? Figure it out. Friggin' videos. I want a video. I don't know. I don't know who can film the video or not enough to pay them or whatever. So just save up, buy a camera, and then just try and get someone to hold it. You get me? And then learn how to edit and all that kind of stuff. It just all happened like out of necessity. That's all it is, literally.
It's and you know what? That's it. It makes it twice as like rewarding, because it's like, yo, like you're really about this. You get me? Like it's inspiring, bruv. It's inspiring. Like I was watching Khaled on live, DJ Khaled on live, and he was saying, you know, he said exact same. He was like, he was thinking about his journey, and he had to do all of these things to get to that point. And it's like he really did that because he had there was no other choice. It was either that or nothing. You get me? And that's it's inspiring, brother, and it's beautiful. Like you can't write a journey, like it just happens how it happens.
That's one thing I've definitely realized. One thing I've definitely realized, man, and like also obviously doing it so long, like being happy in whatever position I am currently in, I've learned to be really happy with it. You get me? And just realize, like, just think to what the actual aim is, what the goal is, what I enjoy, and all that kind of stuff, and it kind of just centers me back.
Well, one of the main purposes of Empire Nation Presents the Finest in the North was to kind of shred that false illusion of artistry and kind of really give people an insight into the struggle and make people realize that, you know, it looks a lot better than it is on the outside than it is on the inside. So my next question would be really is, what's the biggest adversity and the hardest challenge that you've faced in your career so far?
You know what, yeah, strangely enough, I'd say it's probably the same as everybody else. But my mental state, you get me? That's always the biggest struggle in life in general. But when it comes to anything creative, that's definitely like the biggest struggle all the time, you get me? Because it's a constant thing. It's a constant battle. It's a constant realization process. It's a constant self-awareness building, self-knowledge, you get me, all that kind of stuff.
100%,
It's just a
100%.
constant journey. So I think that's the major thing, like learning how to control that a bit, you get me.
And how do you do that? Like, if you were to give someone like a piece of advice, because I feel like men in the industry really don't speak about issues surrounding mental health, and I think it's one of those things that, especially in music, like, we are messengers. So when we perform music, we're almost like, you know, crying out for you know, to help people, and it's an expression, isn't it, really? And how do you feel like you learn to deal with those things, if you were to give people, you know, a bit of advice to say how to deal with, you know, struggling with mental health?
Personally, like, I don't, obviously it's hard to generally like speak for men, but like when it comes to like creatives, like people that do anything creative, like channeling that energy into an actual product, whether that be like a friggin' EP, whether that be like a bunch of songs or whatever, channeling that energy and trying your best to execute whatever that feeling is, whatever negative feelings or whatever even positive feelings that you have, try channeling that into a product. I think that helps me a lot from. And obviously there's the normal stuff that everybody else does, like friggin' watching people that really inspire you and touch you different types of ways, you get me? Watching friggin' films that I love, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, them little things there, man.
100%. Just taking, and just taking a bit of time out for yourself, and reflecting. Which leads me on into my next question is, you've achieved a lot. You know, you've been on the scene for many years now. You've reached a lot of levels in the scene, and you've done a lot of things. How do you continually keep going, and how do you celebrate your successes? Because a lot of artists, and I know you have the same mentality, as you want to keep doing more, and it's really difficult to be content. But how do you work on celebrating your successes?
So I've become like a lot better at that than I used to be, fam. Like, and all that is that's like getting to know myself, in it. That's getting to know myself a little bit better, and again, getting to know myself. You get me? So locking off social media and all that kind of stuff for a bit, which is why I've been ghost, locking off like negative energies, all that kind of stuff, and just centering myself, getting to know myself, figuring out what I like, what I vibe with, all that kind of stuff. And then always remind myself of that, you get me? So any times I kind of start falling off track and I start feeling a certain type of way, like negative wise or whatever, I just remind myself, like, what actually makes me happy? What am I doing this for? Like, what, you get me? What is the purpose? What's the aim? And then it always centers back, you get me? So I think not having a goal to reach per se, I wouldn't recommend goals. I think, mad controversial, but when it comes to goals, I think it's like a human's biggest downfall, because from kids, these friggin' mad. If you ask like a person in reception right now, when you're 30, what's your life gonna look like? They're gonna talk about castles. They're gonna talk about every Lamborghini's outside. You get all that kind of stuff, When you start creeping up and you're realizing, oh, maybe that's not my journey. Maybe that's not where I'm meant to. You get me? Yeah. It kind of takes a toll on you if you're not comfortable with yourself and understand yourself a bit.
Well, you see where it is. With the goals, it's more like, me personally, right? I don't believe in that. I feel like it's more talking it into fruition, and it's manifesting it, and also really and truly like aiming the highest you can. Like there's no limit. Like, you know, if someone says like, you know, there's being realistic, but with me, it's like, if you've got ambition, drive, and you have the desire to be the best and be the very best, then, you know, there's no reason why you shouldn't aim to be the very best.
Yeah,
And
100%.
you know,
Like
but
I've had
I
these.
feel like sometimes goals are put in place to stop you progressing to that point because it's
Mm,
like, oh, you need to. But again, it's like you say, it's about knowing yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? And knowing those personal things.
it always comes back down to self, man. It always comes back down to self. And I've had these like realism talks and realistic this and realistic that talks with anybody you can think of and everybody. And
Yeah,
friggin' like it's one of them things where I don't buy into that kind of stuff in it because
yeah,
the way I see it, nobody knows what real is. You get me? Nobody on this
true,
earth knows what the hell they're doing. Everybody's just doing things that they think is calm. And like
exactly.
nobody has like a foresight
The
of
formula.
this is gonna happen and blah blah blah. So it's just a
Yeah,
case of like just doing what makes you happy and getting to know yourself, which is the most important thing. And then once you get to know yourself, you can always center yourself back. You get me? That's the main thing.
100%, 100%. Well, I've got a few more questions lined up for you, but bro, I want to hear a record just as everybody else does. So let's get into another record. Let me know
All
what it's
right.
called, and then we'll have a chat about the process afterwards. Shout out to everybody that's locked in as well. It feels weird not going live on my profile. Do you know what I mean? Because like I can like wave at everybody, see who's
Well, this is
locked
the
in.
first. You know what? Yeah, this is the first time I've been up. So I've been in the conversation and freaking not even watching the chat. I should be
Yeah,
watching the
bro,
chat
to be
more.
honest, like I interact with everyone on there, like just keep smashing the wave and whatever. But literally, this is gonna cut out after an hour. It'll give you a countdown. And basically what you'll need to do is just save it to your profile,
Okay.
upload it, and then just save the video. And then that way, like I'll have the episode,
All right,
and you
calm.
can just send me it. But yeah, my live was doing the most, but I think Instagram was bugging out, bro, because like hundreds of people were going live at the same time. Like loads of
Oh,
people were
mad.
going live. Like 8 o'clock came and then it just went bring ding ding like bare lives on my thing. I was like, whoa. He's like, you can't go live right now. I thought, yeah, yeah.
Oh, mad. All right. So what kind of vibe again? Let's go for. All right. So we had
Yeah.
what was that? That was like a gassy kind of vibe. Let's go for
Yeah, that was gassy.
let's go for I feel R&B-ish. I'm an R&B head. You get me? So.
Yeah, but okay, well, one last question before you get into this record,
Mm,
which is a very actually sick question. Is you're a
mm,
rapper, but
mm.
I personally class you as a vocalist because you sing on a lot of your records. So what do you categorize yourself as in if is in when people ask you like, you know, what are you a singer? Are you a rapper? Or, you know, how what and do you market yourself as? Do you know what I'm saying? Because I see it as a player because when I hear your music, like, bro, you can sing, like you're a vocalist. Do you see what
Respect.
I'm saying?
Try,
So
fam.
it's like, yeah, well, this is it. This is it. And as a vocalist, I can appreciate somebody that can sing. So it's like I'd look at you and say you're a singer, but then you know you might say you're a rapper. So how do you feel about that? And what do you feel like that process is like?
You know what? Yeah, when it comes to, I'll never categorize myself as a rapper. Yeah, just for
Uh-huh.
the simple fact that like I have respect for like proper penmanship. You get me? Like I have
Mm-hmm.
respect for my like friggin' Black Thought and friggin' Jay-Z and them man like proper pen.
Jeez.
Get me? So it's like
Yeah, man.
I wouldn't call myself a rapper. I'd just call myself like an artist. Like I just use
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
like have these
Lyricism as
tools.
a vessel.
Yeah, built these tools that like that over the years, and like when I get a certain vibe on a certain beat, I just know which one to pick,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. That's what I run with, kind of thing. But I
Yeah,
wouldn't say I'm a
I
rapper
love
or
that.
a singer because I wouldn't disrespect singers like that
Yeah,
either. I try, and I
yeah,
know my
yeah.
range on songs, so I keep between that. But like I wouldn't
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
categorize myself as a
But
singer
you've got,
either.
but I think what a lot of singers lack, and I feel like singing is a completely different ball game altogether because
Oh,
singing
fam, that's a
you either you know what I'm saying, but you're either exceptional or you're not. But when it comes to like singers, like a lot of singers lack melody and they don't have melodic tones. One
mm,
thing that you have is you're very melodic, like your melodies.
that's
That's what I fall in love with. Like,
fam,
it's a beautiful
that's my
melody.
fault. Whenever I make it, like I've realized over the years, yeah, melodies is everything to me. That's that number one. Like, apart from the beat, obviously, that's why producers are so important, because the beat gives you the vibes and everything like that. Straight second is melody, fam. Like, regardless of anything, melody is what you remember. Like, even if you like older people, when they listen, when they start singing songs, they don't know what they're singing, but it's all about the melody.
The melody is the key to the heart. I believe that, like, it's the key to the heart and the soul. And also, bro, melodies are timeless. That is what you can't teach somebody melody. It comes from the soul, bro, I swear, and it's special. 100%. But on that note, bro, let's jump straight into the next record.
All right, yeah. So like I said, let's go for
R&B. Love
do you
that.
Like R&B, or like a more
bro,
a wavy R&B?
Either way, you get it. Oh, I want some wavy R&B, bro.
All right, let's go for.
Yeah, man.
Oh, it's hard to choose. Let's just go for this. Can you hear that? Yeah.
Yeah, man. Loud and clear.
Big up Official Lees, by the way. Reading the comments. Big up. Big up Phyllis, Bruce Willis. Yeah, this one's called Right Outside.
Pull up on you in the night time. Seems like only time I find time. Say I'm just slow, freezing cold, no longer a nice guy. Just part of that stuff. Oh, baby, I'm right outside.
Oi, bro. Pour the chat, Denmarc. Pour the chat, bro. Reload the tape. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Right, fam. Erica Badu said it the other day, yeah? The biggest compliment someone could pay you is...
Yo, bro. You have no idea, fam. The levels. People are witnessing history right now, fam.
Woo. In the night time, seems like only time I find time. Say I'm just like snow, freezing cold, no longer nice. Just part of that stuff. At least I'm real. Hot and cold, you didn't know, baby, I'm you're outside. Give you a minute, go take your time. I'll be waiting right outside. Right outside. You know I love it when your hands just
Mom, cover your ears.
I've no doubt, so you into me. It's a simple test. Got a feeling
legendary.
I made my way down, cause I know you're the time when you lips, them shit so soft. That shit so wet, now my hands got lost with the drinks. Look down me and you also know. You so we'll keep it 6 for now. Would never say, but I think I love her. I'm over. I know what I want. You do so, so you can't say nothing. Maybe true, I might be stubborn. Few traits that I didn't get from my mother. I'm no more better. Pull up on you in the night time. Seems like only time I find time. Say I'm just
special. Like another one. Oh, the lights though. Hey.
At least I'm real. Hot and cold, you didn't know, but you're outside.
Yeah, but yeah, that's right outside.
Bro. Absolute fire, man. Yo, what's that one called?
Right Outside at the moment.
Right Outside, yo, bro. Guys, for those of you that are joining, you're locked in with Harris Hameed and Denmarc Creary right now. We got a live Q&A. We're joined here for the finest in the north, and if you are hearing them flames, woof, let me smash the like button. Big up everyone inside.
Big up.
Bro. The world needs to hear this music, Denmarc. The world needs to hear this music.
Yo, fam, I'll free. You know what? I'll free it soon. I've been taking mad long in it. I'll free it soon though.
Bro,
but you know what? I don't know if you get this yet. Do you get times when you just like, you just forget everything else, fam? Like, I don't care about releasing. Like, I just want to make bangers. You get me? For myself to roll to. to like freaking put my headphones in and just,
Bro,
you get me?
that's some big energies on them records, bro. Like, you are in your element right now. Like,
Respect, bro,
hearing them
respect.
records, like, it's big, bro. It's big. Fam, this is exactly what I wanted. You don't understand. Like, it's just finally it's sick to have you here. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, bruv, we're gonna get into some more questions. I'd say we've got about 10 minutes more left on this live.
Alright, cool.
So we'll do questions till about 5 to, and then you can get into a final record, and then we'll call it a day. But
Cool.
I was gonna say, who are your inspirations? Whether it's musical, whether it's day to day, who inspires you, bro?
All right, so do you mean like is it who inspires me, or like my favorite artist maybe? Is that what you mean?
So I mean, like, let's say like your okay, forget that question. Let's do your top 3 favorite artists, like your top 3 go-to artists.
All right. I might have to give you 5.
5 done.
So my favorite artist of all time, like hands down, these 5 people are just friggin' sick to me. And have always been sick, have the longevity and all that kind of stuff. Jay-Z,
Yeah,
right? He's ridiculous. From like that guy is friggin'
legendary.
Buju Banton, like he's another. Oh my days.
Yeah.
Drake, I don't care what nobody says. That guy is freaking out of this world.
Yeah.
Vice Cartel.
Yeah.
Hands down, one of my favorite artists. I could listen to him every day. And then the last one, I'd probably say Chip.
Jeez, bruv. Yeah.
Them 5 there, like, hands down.
Bruv, like, I'm not being funny. That's like ultimate team. You get me? Like, that's like Marvel's Avengers, bro. Like, you get me? Like, mad thing. You see, the only 2 other people I would add on there are I'd put Cole on there. I put J. Cole on there, and do you know who else I would put on there? I'd say Kendrick. And only because I know Kendrick is very like your go-to rapper, but I actually took some time. Like, I've been listening to Kendrick for a very long time. I then took some more time and listened to Kendrick and really listened, like really listened.
Kendrick, sonically, he is out of this. The levels, it's different in it. But what with Kendrick, what I find is, because it's so sonically heavy, I don't go back to it often. You get me?
Yeah.
Whereas everybody I mentioned, I listen to daily. You get me? That kind of vibe. With J. Cole, by the way, has probably my favorite album of all time, if not my second favorite album of all time, 2014's Forest Hills Drive. That's one of my favorite albums. So I don't really.
What's your favorite album of all time? And then after that, I'm gonna ask you one more question.
Yeah. Someone mentioned her right here. That miseducation of Lauryn Hill is like.
Well, bro, this was my next question. I was gonna say, what is your top 5 female or male favorite singers? Because you did your best 5 rappers. So who are your top 5 favorite singers, bro? Because now we're talking the upper echelon of the industry. Like, it's different levels now, bro. Because Lauryn Hill, that album was just, to this day, I found that album.
This is the thing, fam. When you can make one album and just disappear off the face of the earth, and people still talk about that to this day, it's mad.
Yo.
Very vocalist. Alright, vocally, might not be, people I appreciate vocally might not be my favorite, like, they don't make my favorite songs all the time, but vocally, have to appreciate Beyonce. Boy, she's different. whether people think or not, Ariana Grande, yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Have you actually? I don't think man listen
Yeah.
to her actually sing.
Fam, you see me, like, I'm a vocalist, so like I understand the levels, like, and I mean, really and truly, like, like Ariana Grande, Beyonce, those levels of singers, they have superhuman abilities when it comes to singing. Like, they are so they're athletes. They're literally Olympic athletes. Like, is the level of you know, class that they're at, because there's one Ariana Grande performance where she does at MTV, right, and she's laid down in this performance, and it's a whole performance. It ain't just like, you know, dance here and dance there. Like, it's the whole thing, bro. Like, it's, you know, and it's impeccable how a vocalist can have so much control in their ability.
There's a video, yeah, of her performing. What's it called? God is a Woman.
That's the one. That's the one.
Oh,
yeah, where she's lied down on the table.
Oh boy,
now
there's a performing it live though on Good Morning America, I think.
Okay.
I'd say levels, fam, levels. But these aren't, by the way, these aren't of all time. These are just like whatever the past 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, like, oh, friggin' different level.
Yeah, of course we got Whitney on that list as well.
Yeah, if we're talking all time, you have to have Whitney.
Yeah.
You have to have Lord. You have to have friggin' Erykah Badu.
Yeah, straight up. Your Brandy, your Aaliyah's, like, you know.
Usher's mad. Usher's ready.
Bro, I wasn't ready.
Singer.
Usher is my dream collaboration. I would love to collaborate with Usher, bro. Timeless guy.
Timeless. Dancehall. Oh, don't get me cut. I don't know if you're into dancehall, yeah? Did you watch the stream last night?
I did see a little bit of it. It was, who was it? Vibes and... Who was on it again?
No. Beanie and...
who was it? Yeah. I saw it on Twitter.
Epic. That was epic. I don't think they can top that after. Oh my days. They can't top that.
Right.
They can't top that.
Right.
It's mad.
Levels. Absolute levels. Well, yo, bruv, I think we've only got a few minutes left. I wanted to just say thank you for joining me, bro. I really appreciate it, man. Episode 3. It feels like only yesterday I had the first guest on, and now we're 3 guests deep, and we got another 3 artists confirmed next week. But for anybody that doesn't know where they can find your music, bro, just let everybody know where you can stream your music and where to reach out and follow you and get at you.
Yeah, man. So all the streaming platforms, obviously, YouTube Music, Spotify, Apple Music, and all that kind of stuff. That's where you can find me, pretty much. Where you can contact me. Socials, obviously, I'll ghost most of the time, but I reply as soon as I see it, innit? Yeah. I reply as soon as I see it. So
okay, and Denmarc, by tradition, the final question that we do here at Empire Nation is, what's the best piece of advice you can give to one person? And that's the final question in the interview. Thank you for joining me, bro. And let us all know what the best piece of advice is.
The best piece of... All right, but before that, though, respect for giving me a shout, for doing this anyway. Respect for the whole concept, by the way. We need this kind of stuff. Bro. We need this kind of stuff.
Man, I appreciate that, man.
What I'd probably leave people with is just like, the most important thing is you getting to know yourself before everything. So whatever it is, like in life or whatever, getting to know yourself will always be at the top of the list. And sometimes that comes through isolation for a little bit. Sometimes that comes through talking to people that are just friggin' ridiculously clever. Sometimes, you know what, like speaking to elder people as well. Like, no, it doesn't even have to be like friggin' 90-year-olds or whatever, but just older people in general. Like, you'll just soak up a lot of knowledge, you get me? But yeah, getting to know yourself is like the #1 thing for everybody, you get me? That's
Yeah.
what's really important for everything.
Bro, thank you so much for joining me, bro. And honestly, I really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone that locked in for episode 3 of The Finest in the North. I beg you don't forget to save this episode, bro. I need it for my dissertation. But yo, big love to everybody inside. And yo, Denmarc, if you want to drop another record until it cuts out, or if you want to just play us out with some music, then feel free, my brother. But big love and respect for getting on, man.
Yeah, man. You know, winner, yeah. I hope you've got enough time. I don't know when it's gonna cut out, but
it should give you a timer. It should give you a timer at the top.
Oh, it hasn't given me a timer, but people have been messaging me about.
If there ain't no timer, we could chill, bro.
But there's people have been messaging me about this song, about dropping this song, yeah. So I'll just play it because nobody's heard the second verse.
Let's go.
Where do you think we got it? It's 2 Tom. Yeah, baby, you're the winner, you can come right through. You're the winner, yeah. Winner, you can come right through. What a figure, yeah. I said, baby, you're the winner, you can come right through. Winner, yeah. I said, baby, you're the winner, you can come right through. What a figure, yeah. Yeah, she love fuck what I might get her. I don't man wouldn't move, she apply pressure. She pulled up in the suit of my nice stepper. Very calm weather, that's a shy fella. She pull up in a coat and they might prefer. Pull up in my whole thing like mine's better. I approach on her vibe and she's like clever. Cause I'm a man shadow. Baby, come for the dance. Before I get a romance. Baby, if you're up for the dance. The way your body race, man. Baby, come for the dance. Before I get a romance. Baby, come for the dance. The way your body race, man. Baby, winner, you can come right through. You're the winner, yeah. Come right through. What a figure, yeah. I can be the winner, right through. Winner, yeah. I can be the winner, you can come right through. What a figure,
I love this verse, I don't know.
Yeah.
She know she a nice dresser. We got a bun just like Etta. She the fine rapper. On the right, make it run. See next one is the right letter. Every time she get back to the spot, they are down with the right takers. With the right effort, it's my pleasure. Now she the new Mike Sheller.
Yo, that verse gets me cussed
Hey, bro.
That verse gets me
big
every time. Every time.
Yo, fam. Energies. Well, bro, that leads me on to the next question. If we've got time, bro, I'm thinking we might as well just ask. I've got a few more questions lined up for you
All right, come on.
to ask. So if we've got a bit of time anyway, I was going to say, have you got any projects lined up, or what's the next single that you're looking to release and put out?
You know what? I haven't really given it a thought, yeah. But if I feel like the next song I do put out has to be something that's like kind of explains a little bit about the ghosting and the reason for it and all that kind of stuff, and like you get me, and like where I've been mentally and all them kind of things there. I think the next song I put out has to be that, I think. So I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided on like no dates or anything like that. But I think I have a clue of what song it might be. But yeah, no real plans, fam. Just at the moment, I just love making the music in it. That's it, fam.
Yeah. Well, another question is like, obviously, like as artists, like myself and yourself, like it's very it's almost in our nature and in our art form to almost express and say what people can't feel. And almost like we have this ability where through our lyricism we can share like our pain. But when for example, when you've gone through a lot as an artist, how do you find dealing with writer's block and not actually being able to articulate how you feel in a song? How do you deal with that issue and getting around that?
You know what? How I always come back to this, yeah. Stevie Wonder, yeah. I remember him saying one time, yeah, someone asked, because he's got the record for the amount of songs ever written, and I try to top that all the time. Like I'm going hard to top that. That's my little personal goal. But
love that.
He basically said, someone asked him, how do you write these hits? Like, how do you write a hit song or whatever? And he was like, I write friggin' 99 terrible songs, and the one after that is sick. So that's how I see it, innit? Just create through the terrible old dog turd that you create. Just embrace it, love it, and then ever so often you'll get these like standout like vibes. That's how 100%, I do.
100%. And like obviously it can be really frustrating as an artist when you want to get it out, you know what I mean? Because you go through phases. But what is your favorite? Obviously you're very multi-versatile and you work on a lot of genres. What's your personal favorite genre to work on? What type of music do you enjoy creating the most?
It's gonna have to be R&B. I'm an R&B head, fam. Like through and through, I'm an R&B head. Like that's probably that's the music I listen to most. That's my vibes. That's probably the music that I make most, but people don't hear. Like R&B. I'm an R&B head. I can't lie. Heavy R&B head.
Yeah. So I think it was around this time last year you released Know Me, and were you out in Jamaica for the video? And you shot the video yourself. Talk to me about the process of shooting the music video and what it was like going back home, seeing your family and doing that process independently.
Yeah, that's like going back to Jamaica. The older and older I get, the more I feel more connected. Like I almost feel like that's my place. You get me? Like there's nowhere else in the world where I feel as comfortable, as homely, as like where I should. I feel like that's where I should be. Like every time I go back, I struggle with the thought of coming back to anywhere else. You get me? So I do feel like eventually I'm gonna have to be back there, man. 100%.
It's the homeland.
Yeah, 100. But the idea. To be fair, the idea for Know Me originally was gonna be like like paying to get this kind of sick video done and all the glitz and all that kind of stuff and whatever, because at the time it was like my most streamed song. I think it still is, maybe. So I was gonna do all of that and all that madness, and then I kind of just I was just like, nah.
Nah. Bro, I love the energy behind the video. Like you really showcased your culture, your family, your home. And I think the whole grit of it, it's like, it wouldn't have made sense for it to be glitz and glam because it's not real. It was your version of, your life. And I think I really connected to it. I liked that immersive experience. Like I felt like I was a part of it. You know what I'm saying? 100%. But you said Know Me is your most streamed record.
I think. I don't know. I don't check. So I don't really know.
Yeah, no, literally, like, let's talk about focus, because, like I said, like you've always had a lot of influence from a lot of different genres, and when I listen to you, I hear a very nice balance of combination of when it comes to lyrics. What inspires your wordplay, and what is do you have, like, when you start writing a record, do you kind of splurge the record, or do you kind of go into it knowing what you're going to write about?
No, it's every, I wouldn't say, maybe not every, like odd times, you'll probably know this, odd times you'll get like, I've literally friggin' dreamt about like certain lyrics and woke up and like made something. You get them times, but then you get times where something just comes to you, maybe when you're driving. I obviously don't recommend it. I take out my phone and voice note. Voice note for when I get back home, but majority of the time, it's just whatever the vibes, the beat gives me. You get me, and that's it.
Yeah,
and that's what I work for. It says we got 27 seconds. Oh, 23 seconds, I should say now.
What? Yo, bro, beg you save the video.
Yeah, I will.
Just upload
like I said,
it. But yo,
big respect for Holiday.
man.
The cocoon.
Yo, look, big love to you, Denmarc, and yo, I
Tuning in as
appreciate
well.
that.
Big love. Yeah, man.
Big love to everyone that locked in every time.